Okay, great. 来看看怎么设置一下。Hello, hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. How are you guys? Yeah, I'm still trying to set things up, okay? Good morning, how are you guys? How are everyone? Can you guys tell me in the comments, like, how are you? Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Yeah, lovely to see all of you guys. Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, we're about to start. 摄像头放错位置了，为什么？哪里放错了？Can you let me know？哪里放错了？没有放错吧？嗯哼 Okay, all right. Can people hear me, my friend? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me, my friend? Can you please let me know in the comment area, like, can you hear me, my friend? Yes, okay, great, fantastic. Good to see you, Patty. Good to see you. Okay. Yeah, so for those who are new in here, if you haven't followed me, don't forget to follow me, okay? Follow me, please. Yeah. And I'm gonna write this down in my chat room first so that you guys can see it. Yeah, just a moment. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we actually set up a topic for today, which is how to live longer. It's so interesting that yesterday we had this discussion about, like, human beings' life is how long and how are people able to live longer. And somehow this topic becomes so interesting because so many people are coming in and discussing it together with me. So I feel like today, like, we should elaborate more on this topic, right? So that is why I specifically set a topic of today to be how to live longer. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there are a lot of secret sauce for people from every different countries, right? In your country, there might be your own country's wisdom about how to live a longer life, right? So it's gonna be very, very interesting that we could share in the common area. Like, I'm gonna share a lot of thoughts, like a lot of the wisdom we have here in China. And you guys can definitely share about your wisdom from your country. And then we could definitely have a very fantastic communication culture exchange today. Okay. I am so looking forward to it. I'm definitely so looking forward to it. Yeah. So yesterday when we discussed about, like, all the difference of, the concept of living longer, and I think altogether there are, almost like 200 people online, watching it and discussing it together with me. So that is like pretty interesting topic, so we're gonna continue with that. Okay, my friend. Yeah, your backdrop is gorgeous. Thank you, Patty. I'm glad you like it. It's a very new backdrop. And later on, from time to time, we're gonna just change the backdrop. Okay, so Yeah, so that's gonna add a new vibes to you guys. Okay, so yesterday we mentioned something. Oh yeah, and also guys, I made this little little fan so that you guys can see it and ask anything about China so that we could discuss. Yeah, I maybe should make it smaller. Yeah, somehow you guys cannot see it. Right? Yeah, okay. So anyhow, we're gonna just discuss it first, okay? So we were saying that in the Chinese, one of the Chinese wisdom. So China has like a lot of wisdom system, right? So one of the wisdom system is called is Taoism. Okay, so if you look at all the different like philosophy theories and philosophy systems in China, out of all the different philosophy systems, complete you be nice, okay? You be nice. Otherwise, I'm gonna kick you out, okay? It's been several times our people are complaining in the comment area asking me to kick you specifically out. Okay, so be nice, my friend. Called complete. There are several times people asked me to kick you out, and I said no. I said, okay, let's give you one more chance, okay? But you're being, again, not so behaving not so properly, okay? So be nice, my friend. Be nice, okay? We welcome any friends who are nice in here. So if you are not feeling very happy, very good today, just keep silent, okay? That is fine. You're still welcome in this live stream, okay? Just be nice, okay? Yeah. Right. So let's continue. Okay. Yeah, let's continue and welcome everyone for coming in here. Yeah. I got the blue one. What do you mean by you got the blue one? Yeah. Okay, so okay, so meanwhile while I'm sharing, if people have any questions about China, about anything, you're welcome to ask, okay? Anything about China is fine. Okay, I should probably make this fan to be a little smaller. Otherwise you guys can see everything in here. Anything about China. Yeah, probably this is not a good idea. Anyhow, yeah, let's continue. So I just get in here. Welcome, Nathan. Yeah, welcome, Nathan. I wish someone yelled at me like that. Oh my god, why? Why do you like to be yelled? I mean, I wasn't yelling, I guess. Yeah, I was like just trying to be very nicest person. Just like send warnings, right? I'm not yelling, my friend. Yeah. Anyhow, we were saying that yesterday, to be honest, like in the ancient Chinese wisdom system, according to the Taoism system, according to what we call king of medicine, there's a very famous figure in the Chinese history called Sun Simiao, and he is called the king of medicine. And according to his theory, that a human being's life can be as long as 140 years old, which means that anyone like us, any one of us, if we live our life to the fullest, all of us should be able to live 140 years old. Yeah, be nice. Yeah, guys, be nice, okay? Yeah, download to player. If you send it again, I'm gonna kick you out, okay? I'm gonna kick you out. Oh my god, how come usually like in Red Note there are always like people who are very nice. Somehow today the first one is complete, the second one is download too. Like what happened to you guys? Yeah, what happened to you guys? Guys, be nice, okay? Be nice. Send engage meaningfully, okay? Engage meaningfully. Yeah, this is not gonna be like any random live streaming room, right? There are like people in here genuinely passionate about what I share and really like what the things I share. And people consider, the kind of things I share to be quite insightful. So please be nice, okay? Oh my God. Yeah, be nice. Yeah, I'm very nice. Yeah, I'm always very nice. So be nice, okay? Yeah. Okay, great. Fantastic. You guys are helping me. Yeah. So ask all the very friendly and nice followers who are in the live streaming. If you see someone who are not nice, just ask them to be nice. Okay. Behave well, my friends. Yeah. Welcome anyone in here. Okay. Welcome anyone here. Just that, like, just be nice in the common area. Okay. So we're gonna have some meaningful conversation, like gonna have some meaningful engagement. Okay. So again, the topic of today is about how to live longer, my friend. We had this some like tiny discussion of it yesterday, and somehow like many people are very interested in this topic. So we're gonna just make it into a full topic today, okay? So we're gonna discuss a lot of things around different aspects on this one single topic, which is how to live longer. Okay. So if you have any thoughts, for example, if any advice, any wisdom from your country, which are the kind of suggestion, like what are the things people should do in order to live longer? What are the healthy habits people should, have in order to live longer? Just send in the comments area. Okay. So we're going to have a very interesting discussion today. So, oh my God, on TikTok, everyone is saying, I love O positive. What do you mean by I love O positive? Wait, is it mean like I love you positive? Like, what do you mean by I love O positive? Can anyone explain to me? Like, you guys are all sending the same message in here. Somehow I feel like this must be like something quite positive, right? Well, if this positive, then that'd be great. Oh my God. Okay. Thank you, my friends. Yeah. Guys, for those of you who haven't followed me, don't forget to follow me. Okay. Don't forget to follow me. Okay. Yeah. Somehow let's continue. Yeah. So we're saying that, okay, according to the ancient Chinese wisdom, according to this wisdom guy called Sun Simiao, which is called, who got the nickname of King of Medicine, like every people, every person on the planet should be able to live as long as 140 years old. Could you imagine yourself to live as long as 140 years old? Well, if I am able to live 140 years old, that means that I have so many more opportunities to try so many new different things, right? So I was discussing that with a friend yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I should just discuss about it today. And he's like, oh yeah, what if you could choose between, making a lot of money, be like super, super rich, but live a relatively shorter life? Or do you prefer to live a relatively not so rich life? However, you're going to live a longer life. Yeah, because nowadays, if you want to make a lot of money, you definitely need to work extremely hard, right? When working extremely hard, you're going to bear lots of pressure. And when having lots of pressure, that, according to Chinese theory, is going to make your life to be shorter, right? So, like he asked, like, oh, between choosing live a longer life, however relatively not so rich, and living a longer life, living not a longer life but living a super rich life, like which one do you choose, my friend? What do you think? Like, which one do you choose? Can you please let me know in the comment area, like, what would you choose, my friend? Like, if you would choose very, very rich but relatively shorter life, type 1. If you choose like a very, very long life, live longer, and then not so rich, like which one do you choose? You choose live longer or you choose money? Okay. So for those of you who choose live longer, type 1. Wait, type 2 actually. If you choose money, type 1, type 2, live choose live longer, type 2, okay? Yeah, which one do you choose? If you choose having a lot of money, type 1. If you choose live longer, type 2. Okay. Yeah. It's not just about adding years to life, about adding life to years. Oh my God, you are a poet, Louis the Cat. Oh my God, I love what you said, my friend. Yeah. So which one do you choose, my friend? If you choose to be super super rich but live shorter, like type 1. If you choose to be like live longer, not so rich, type 2. Okay, which one do you choose, my friend? Yeah, I want more interaction, my friends. Guys, sending the comments, sending the comments. Yeah, lots of love and lots of heart to all the friends on both platforms. So many people are sending I love O positive. What do you mean by I love O positive, my friend? Yeah. Yeah. There are people who are always sending I love O positive. I have no idea what that is, but I feel like that must be something positive, right? If that is something positive, that's great. Okay. Welcome anyone in here. Any new friends? For those of you, can you turn up the volume a little bit? Well, I actually don't know how to turn up the volume a little bit. I just can use the mic to make it closer to me. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the mic closer to me. How about now? Is it better, my friend? Is it better, my friend? Is it better? Can you hear me better? Is it louder? Yeah. Is it louder? Yang Wei. Yang Wei. Is it the right pronunciation? I almost pronounced it wrong. Yeah. If you live longer, you can earn money to be rich. Yeah, that's yes, maybe. Yeah, that's right. Louder. Okay, great. Yeah. You have any ask? Just ask in the comment area. Okay, I'll try to see what I can do to just meet your ask. Okay. Yeah. You can use my saying anytime you want. Yeah, sure, Louis the cat. You basically what kind of comments you sending, as long as I catch it, I'm just gonna say it. I really like all the comments you sent in. Yeah, congratulations, winner. Wait, why are you guys all congratulating me? So confused. But thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for coming in. Okay. For those of you who haven't followed me, don't forget to follow me. Okay. And today's topic, again, for those new joiners, there are so many new joiners who coming in today. The topics of today, my friend, is about how to live longer. Okay, how to live longer. So I'm gonna share a lot of like Chinese wisdom to help you live longer. So if you want to live longer, like Louis the Cat just said yesterday, you have to follow me. Okay, so by following me and coming to my live streaming, Louis the Cat said yesterday she successfully extended her life longer for 2.31 years. Yeah. So it is true that yes, well, so many people said that okay, if you live longer, you can actually use your extra years to be rich, right? So I see like many people when I ask the question like if you choose to be living longer and you choose to be richer, like which one do you choose? Majority of the people actually choose to live longer, right? So that's actually what I answered yesterday as well. You've got a good memory. Yes, I do, Louis the Cat. Yes, I do. Yeah. So okay, so one of the side story, I consider myself to be someone who have quite good memory because well, actually not yesterday, last week when I was having a lunch with a couple of friends. So they did something like, so everyone said like, oh, so someone said I'm gonna order a pizza, and the other person said I'm gonna order a pasta. When everyone around the table said the kind of dish they wanted to order, I basically just remembered everything people said they wanted to order. So when the waitress came in and said that, hey, can I take the order? I basically just recited like everything that people said around the table of the food they like to order. And somehow like all my friends were like amazed by saying that, how are you able to do that? And they said they couldn't do that. They said that, they couldn't just remember the every dish people said they want to order and just, when the waitress came in and just said that, okay, these are the kind of dishes we want to order. And I said like, they asked me like, did you memorize all those orders like specifically? Did you actually just pay attention to everyone said what kind of dish they want to order and like specifically remembered everything and write it down in your memory? And I said, no, actually I didn't. I just like once just hearing everyone around the table said what are the things they wanted to order, I just immediately remembered it. And then when waitress came in, I was able to just tell her the kind of dishes they everyone wanted to order. It was like almost like a talent, And they say like they couldn't do that. So very beginning I thought was like everyone could do that, my friend. I thought like it was something like everyone could do. It's not recorded, my friend. It's live streaming, okay? It's live streaming, it's not recorded. So I used to replay at 9 p.m. every night, but starting from yesterday, I didn't because I just got to know that platforms don't like to do that and they would restrict the traffic and send warnings to me and also limit the traffic and give punishment to my live stream. So that's why no more replay. Okay. Everything is not recorded, everything is live streaming. Okay, my friend. Yeah. So, like, people say that, oh, they couldn't do it. So, I just want to ask people here in the live streaming, like, could you guys also do it? Like, for me, I feel like that is something so easy to do, but somehow, like, people say that it's not easy to do. Like, for example, if you go out, I was sharing that if you go out with your friends, and for example, there are like five friends, and each of them just ordered one dish, are you able to just, after hearing what are the things they want to order, remember everything, and when the waitress came in and just tell the waitress what are the things people would like to order? Is this something you guys can do as well, my friend? Yeah, I definitely need more interaction. Okay, my friends, can anyone just tell me in the comment area? So like my friends back then in the lunch told me that they actually couldn't do it. They found it very amazed that I could actually remember everyone's order and just recite it. So I guess like I do have a good memory. Yeah. I used to work in professional kitchens, so you can do it, right? So I consider it to be quite easy until my friend told me that's actually not easy. Yeah, so anyhow, just a side topic, okay? Let's get back to let's get back to the normal topic, which is how to live longer. Okay, my friend, how to live longer. And meanwhile, for any new joiners, especially who are foreigners, yeah, made this like specific fan for you guys. Okay, so if you have any questions about China, welcome to ask. Okay, so if you have any question about China, just ask me in here. Okay, and we're gonna answer it. The topic for today specifically is about topic today. Yeah, I should probably make my chair to be higher so that you guys can see it. Yeah. Okay, this is a lot nicer. Yeah. So the topic specifically today is about how to live longer. I'm going to share lots of Chinese wisdom with you guys. Right. So I was repeatedly saying that according to the Chinese ancient Chinese theory that any human being should be able to live 140 years old. So yesterday we shared about this kind of theory that according to the Chinese system, inside our body we have two types of energy. One energy is the sun energy and the other energy is about the moon energy, right? So, well, yesterday, starting from yesterday evening, I started to read this book. This book was recommended by another English content creator on Rednote, which is called 什么八字命理学. So that book specifically discussed about, yin and yang, those energy, right? And about how to predict your life, something like that, using the traditional Chinese theory. Well, definitely very, very interesting book. Like I finished the first two chapters, so I feel like already have a lot to share with you guys about that. So I later discovered that, yin and yang is not sun energy and moon energy. That was wrong. Okay. I shared before about like yin and yang are like sun energy and moon energy. That was not right, my friend. Does anyone know what does yin and yang mean? Does anyone know what does the Chinese like yin and yang mean? Yeah. 我想把我的 iPad 拿过来，这样里面有一些图可以展示。Yeah. Yeah. So like yin and yang. Does anyone know what does yin and yang mean? Yeah. Does anyone know what does yin and yang mean? Can you guys tell me in the comment area what does yin and yang mean? Yeah. So you guys must have already all seen this. I'm gonna show you guys a photo of this, a picture of yin and yang, right? 看一下，我昨天看到第几页了？43页。Yeah. Oh, this is so interesting. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Yeah. So you guys must have all seen this photo, right? You guys must have all seen this photo in here, right? Which is the Tai Chi photo, a Tai Chi picture. So the white area is called yang and the black area is called yin. However, inside the yang area, the white area, there is a black dot, and inside the black area, there is a white dot, right? This is the Chinese wisdom, which means that you have to strike a balance between yin and yang. Okay, so what does yin and yang mean? Is there anyone know what does yin and yang mean? Can you send? Just take a guess in the comment area, my friend. Just take a guess in the comment area. What does yin and yang mean? Just randomly guess what does yin and yang mean, right, my friend? So no, I'm not asking whether it's balanced or not. I'm asking what is yin, okay, and what is yang. Specifically, what is yang and what is yin? Yeah. So anyone, can you tell me in the comment area, right, guys? More interaction, okay? More interaction. Just randomly guess. Yeah, randomly guess. Yeah. Yeah, randomly guess what is yin, what does yin mean, and what does yang mean? Just randomly guess, my friend. Can anyone just give me some answers in the comment area? Yeah. Feminine and masculine energy. Nice try. Yeah. Any more? Any more? Any more other answers? I'm waiting in here. I'm waiting in here. Yeah. Just send in the comments. Just take a guess, okay, my friend. Just take a guess. What does yin and yang mean? Night and day, dark and light. Good try. Good try. 阳刚积极向上. Any more? Yeah. Any more friends? Just have a try. Have a try. What does yin mean and what does yang mean? Yeah. Especially Chinese friend. Especially Chinese friend. You guys can take a guess according to the meaning of this word, right? According to the meaning of this word. Yang. 阴向下兼容顺其自然. Okay. I'm asking you guys, I'm gonna give you some hint, okay? I'm asking for the very, very, very surface meaning of yin and yang. Okay, I'm asking very the surface meaning of yin and yang. Okay, take a guess, my friend. Send in the comments. What's your guess of what does yin and yin and yang mean? Okay, my friend. Yeah. Any more answers? Any more answers? Yeah. Guys, just try it. Nutrition. No, not nutrition. Okay. So yang is the same word as 太阳. Okay. 太阳 in Chinese means the sun. Okay. So yang actually means facing the sun. Okay. And yin actually means facing against the sun. Okay, my friend. Facing the sun means yang, and facing against the sun means yin. Okay. If you remember the Chinese writing of yang and yin, right? If you just remember it and just write it down, okay? For Chinese people, if you know the Chinese, and for any foreigners, you know Chinese, right? So yang, the word of yang is same as the sun, right? 太阳的阳. So facing the sun is yang. And yin is like the shade, right? When you face against the sun, you comes into the shade. So that is why, like, when you look at this photo in here, that is why, like, you look at the photo in here. So yang is white because you're facing the sun, while yin is black because you're facing against the sun, and there is a shade there, right? So that is why that is black, right? You have like white that is sun, and you have black that is against the sun. So that is the true meaning of yin and yang. So before I was saying that, oh, yang is the sun energy, yin is the moon energy, that was wrong. Okay, so after reading this book yesterday, yeah, lights and shadows. Yes, that's the better way of saying it. That actually lights and shadows. Yeah, so the lights is not like the artificial lights, it's like the sunlight. Yeah, sunlight and shadow. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. So then the next question is like, why would you have like a black dot inside the white area, and why you would have a white dot inside the black area, right? Oh my god, this is a little bit heavy. This is a very old iPad. Yes, quite heavy. Yeah. So 九阴白骨爪，九阳真经，太搞笑了。Yeah, yeah. So why is there a dot? I'm gonna remove this otherwise it's so heavy. How to remove it? 哦，这个壳子怎么拿下来？太重了。Oh, okay. I give up somehow. I give up. Yeah. So this is a Tai Chi, right? For people who don't know about this is a Tai Chi. I'm pretty sure many people have seen it. Even though you're foreigners, you probably have seen it as well, right? So guys, take a guess. Like, why is there a black dot inside the yang area, the white area, the light area, and why is a white dot inside the black area, inside the shade area? Like, why is it? Take a guess, my friend. Take a guess. Yeah, Louis the Cat, neither is an absolute and can't exist without the other. Yeah, any other guess? Like, why is that? Okay, we have explained that. We have explained the white area is yang, right? Which is facing to the sun, and the black area is yin, which is like facing against the sun. So why is there a black dot inside the yang area, and why is a white dot inside the black area? Yeah, why is that, my friend? Anyone? Take a guess. Just send in the comment area. Just send your guess in the comment area. Okay, send your guess in the comment area. Why is that? Okay, let me see what the answers you guys have. Yeah, one is for moon and one is for sun. Not really. 阴中有阳，阳中含阴, which means that inside yin there's yang, inside yang there's yin. Yeah. 两者不是对立，而是兼容. So the two are not contradictory to each other. They should actually, how to say 兼容啊? Be inclusive to each other, right? You need to light to cast a shadow, one encompassing the other. Really good try, really good answers. They have some connection. 阴盛阳盛，一阴生，阴盛一阳生. That is also a very good answer. I guess they're the eyes. Yeah, they do look like eyes, right? They do look like eyes. Yeah. 说眼睛的是阴阳眼嘛 because they are complementary. You guys are so wise, my friend. You guys are so wise. All of you are, even though you guys are living in the modern world, you guys can be an ancient philosopher. You guys are so wise, my friend. You guys are so wise. You're right, my friend. Many of you guys are right. So in Chinese, we call it, there are some like answers that's like definitely correct. 阴中有阳，阳中有阴，阴盛阴急，阳衰阳急阴衰. So which means like they are very complementary to each other. So if you have, once you start to have yang, right, when you're facing to the sun, you will have something which is facing against the sun, right? So you have something, you have a lot of yang, and inside the yang there is some yin, and inside the yin there is some yang, right, my friend? Yeah. What time is it now in your place? It's around 8 a.m. Yeah, it's around 8 a.m. Yeah. And guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please. You haven't done so. Yeah. So they're very complementary. That is correct. Many of you guys are so wise. So basically, that means like the reason why, like if you look at the Tai Chi, they have like black dots inside the white area and white dot inside the black area. Basically, just means that inside yin there's yang, and inside yang there is yin. And also, if you look at the shape, they merge with each other. They merge with each other, right? And the reason why they merge with each other with is that it means that as a human being, as like everything inside nature, like these two kind of forces, they are complementary to each other. They work with each other rather than contradict and fighting with each other. And inside this force, you have elements of the other force. Inside the other force, you have elements of this force. Yeah. So that's basically the whole system of yin and yang, right? So according to this book about the Taoism, like the basic of Taoism, okay, guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. So the theory is that, okay, I'm gonna first keep myself hydrated before I can share. Okay, so this world is formed using something called qi. Okay, if you're using modern science, if you use modern science to describe what is qi, okay, basically that means molecules or cells. You use the modern science theory, okay. So if you guys have watched a Marvel movie called Shang-Chi, right? What's the English name for that Marvel movie? So this is the only Marvel superhero that is a Chinese. Is it called Shang-Chi? Shang-Chi, right? What's the name of that movie? Yeah, the Marvel movie, which was out like several years ago. Played by a Chinese character, a a superhero by China. It's called Shang-Chi. Yeah. Anyone, can you tell me? Anyone tell me? What's that? Is it called Shang-Chi? Yeah, yeah, Shang-Chi, right. Yeah. Shang-Chi is the Chinese character. And inside that movie, if you guys, yeah, the Ten Rings. Yes, the Ten Rings. Yes, exactly. You guys watched it? How many of you have watched it? If you have watched the movie The Ten Rings, type one, I want to see how many of you guys have watched this movie, The Ten Rings. Somehow, even though that movie is about the a Chinese hero, somehow that movie was not on in China back then. How many of you have watched it? Watch the Ten Rings, Shang-Chi, the Ten Rings. If you watch it, type one. Okay, my friend, type one if you watched it. Yeah, Shang-Chi. Yeah, Ten Rings. How many of you have watched it? Yeah. Okay, not many people have watched it. Okay, somehow this movie was about this Chinese hero. So inside throughout the movie, if you guys remember, for those of you who watched it basically means told the story about this guy used this very mysterious kind of analogy called chi, you know, to do martial arts, and finally, you know, was able to beat the bad guys, etc., something like that. So chi, I discover after reading this book is the foundations of everything. Yeah. So we were explaining about yin and yang. You watched it twice, really? You right like it that much, Robert? Hello, Haja. Haja, welcome. Yes. And welcome all of you guys in here. Okay. Yeah. Welcome everyone in here. Yeah. So we're, saying something, we're actually discussing a very interesting topic, which is how to live longer, my friend. In the force, yes, in the force. Well, it's actually not the in the force. Qi is not the in the force. Qi is the basics of everything. Okay, so according to the Chinese wisdom theory, everything in this world is comprised of qi. Okay, so qi is the basic elements of using the modern science. Qi basically just means, like I said, molecules or cells, right? So like qi is the basis of everything. So qi, using qi, it comes split into two. So the whole world, according to the ancient Chinese myth, the whole world is just a huge amount of qi. 混沌嘛 混沌的世界 is a huge amount of qi. And one day the qi split it into two parts, and one part becomes the sky, and the other part becomes the earth. Yeah. 这个世界一开始是混沌的，对吧？然后气一分为二，一部分为天，一部分为地。It's like yeah, Kung Fu Panda. Yeah, maybe at the very beginning of Kung Fu Panda, they share some this theory like that. Yeah, chi is energy. You're right. Chi is energy, and chi is also the basic, the basic elements of everything. Yeah. So also chi becomes yin yang. So split qi into two parts. You have yin and yang. Yin is part of qi, and yang is the other part of qi. Okay. And then with yin and yang, later on, it splits into five elements, which is wood, metal, 金木, 水, water, fire, and earth, the five elements. So everything in this world is comprised of the five elements, comprised of yin and yang, and then comprised of qi. Yeah. So qi is the base of everything. Using qi is split into two, which is yin and yang, and with yin and yang split into five elements, which is metal, earth, fire, wood, water, these five elements. So basically that's the whole basic theory, okay? So the first two chapters of that book basically just explained all of that, okay? So how does that works with like the topic today, which is like how to live longer, okay, my friend, right? How does that work with our topic today, which is to live longer, my friend? Yeah, take a guess. Like why does it matter? Why does it matter to how to make us live longer, my friend? Yeah, that's good. What's good, my friend? Let's see. What did Hedge just said? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. What did you say? Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, guys, following please. If you're new in here, just follow me in here. We're discussing lots of interesting Chinese ancient wisdom, the Chinese ancient wisdom, Chinese wisdom, and gonna share like how can we use the Chinese wisdom to live a longer life, right? So yesterday we just shared a tiny bit of this theory, and somehow people feel like really makes sense, right? So that is why like, oh, just ask how he's doing. Okay, great. Yeah, so that's why like today we're gonna elaborate it further today to make this topic bigger because that is definitely very interesting, my friend. Yeah. So okay, so we say that okay, yesterday we were discussing about how to live longer. I share like a very basic suggestion, like no touch said, like piss off less, right? Don't be angry, control emotion. That is how you're able to live longer, right? So the theory behind that is like everything we just explained, like everything is comprised of yin and yang, right? Comprised of all those like different elements inside your body, right? So you all it's always about the Chinese wisdom is always about strike a balance. Yeah, you seem so passionate. Clearly you enjoy these topics. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I do. So it was yesterday I opened this book. I find it like really really interesting, so that is why like I'm sharing it with you guys, right? It's definitely very passionate about this topic. Yeah. Yeah, and those of you who haven't followed me, don't forget to follow. Okay, my friends, don't forget to follow. Yeah, I could feel like kind somehow today the speed of people following is a little bit slow. Yeah, so friends in here, follow me please. Okay, follow me please who haven't done so, and keep on tapping the screen to send in likes, and definitely want more interactions. Okay, so we're discussing very interesting topics today, so that is why like I feel it would be great if you guys could just answer my questions, send in the comments about your thoughts. That would be terrific. Okay, that would be terrific. Definitely, we need more interactions. Okay, yeah, we need more interactions. Okay, my friends. Yeah. So strong emotions like cake. If you have too much, you'll get sick. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we were discussing that one of the secret to live a longer life is to keep a calm heart. Okay, don't get overly angry, don't get overly happy, overly excited, overly sad. Like none of those like overly emotion is going to be good to your body. Okay, all of those overly emotion is going to just take away the energy and break the balance. Okay, the Chinese wisdom is all about the balance. It's never good to have too much of elements. Okay, so for example we show these photos, right? This image, right? This is not a photo, this image, right? This image about the balance between yin and yang. So you should have the right amount of yin and you should have the right amount yang. So like everything is of good balance. That is how you're able to live a longer life and how your body is going to feel the most comfortable, right? What happens if you have too much yang? If you have too much of the white area, then the black area will shrink. Then you just break the balance. And this probably is no longer a circle, right? So that is saying, right? We also talk about the five elements. So according to the Chinese ancient theory, so everything is comprised of those five elements and comprised of yin and yang, right? So when you have like too much of the emotion, basically you're adding you're actually releasing certain energy outside your body, right? Like we said, for example, when you're becoming so angry, right? When you have a big fight, we said it yesterday, when you're having this huge, huge fight with a friend, with a family member, and after the quarrel and after the big fight, what do you feel? What do you feel, my friend? I asked this yesterday and people gave me right answers. What do you feel? Just recall a moment when you had a big fight with your friends, with your families. What did you feel? What do you feel, my friend? Tell me in the comment area. What would you feel, right? Yeah. Yeah, I asked this question yesterday and people gave me the right answers. Like more people. Yeah, more people. There are so many people in the live streaming today. You guys need to interact, okay? You guys need to interact. What do you feel after you had a big fight? You're like, you are the one who did that. You are so mean to me. My goodness, like after the big fight, what do you feel? Like after you just keep on saying and shouting at the person, just keep on shouting at the person, what do you feel after you all of a sudden no longer shout at a person? What do you feel? Yeah, what do you feel, my friend? Yeah, what do you feel? Like guys, more answers, more interactions, my friend. Definitely want more interactions. We need to make this live streaming more interesting. Yeah, what do you feel? Like, right. Yeah, so many people say like you feel energy exhaustion, right? You feel so tired. Yeah, if you don't remember how this feel, find someone and start to just, you are so mean, you're a bitch, you are a super bad guy. Just very, very angry and shout at this person. Well, just imagine there's someone just shout at this person, just basically do the shouting and be like, pretend you're super angry and shouting at this person and just try to see what you feel afterwards. You feel very tired, right? Definitely feel very tired, feel very exhausted, right? Yeah. Have you came across the fake ones? What do you mean, my friend? What do you mean? Just ordered. What? Why? Oh my god, it's oh, okay. I see. So interesting. It was so funny that I'm actually not reading. I just realized that I'm actually not reading the comment area of my very own live streaming. I was like, why everyone is asking sending in the comments that I don't even understand. And I just realized that I'm not reading the comments of the right live stream. I was reading the comments of the other people's live streaming, not my own very own live streaming. That is so funny. Yeah. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, let's continue. Yeah. So, hey Ray, long time no see. Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah. I can see you getting mad. Yeah, I don't get mad very often. I like really rarely get mad. Yeah. So however, there were times that I got like really mad, right? Like shouted person, like become super angry. And once I did that, I definitely feel like very exhausted, right? The same with everyone else. Like many people would feel like super exhausted once you become so angry and shout at person, right? So that is why that is why later on, like you would feel like so exhausted. That means that your sun energy is taken away from you're facing the sun energy, your yang qi, that the yang energy, the yang qi. It's called yang qi, right? We said the qi is the base of everything, and using qi we have like yin and yang, right? So qi split into two parts, which is yang qi and yin qi, right? So yang qi, when you become so angry, it takes away the yang qi inside your body. Yeah. Ah. You remind me, my friend. Somehow, Ray, you remind me. I forgot to put on my earrings today. Yeah, I like my earrings. I'm gonna put on my earrings while we discuss about it. Yeah, so it's gonna take away the yang qi inside your body, right? So, like I said, once you run out of yang qi, or not run out of yang qi, you have less yang qi, then this balance will be broken, right? This balance will be broken. this is a new earring. Do you guys like it? Do you guys like this new earring? I'm a huge fan of all the earrings, all the jewelries. Yeah, I really like this one. This is beautiful. Wow, so beautiful. Yeah, put on put on the yin and yang earrings. Yeah, oh, that's a good ideas. That's a good ideas. Then maybe we should make some like yin and yang earrings, right? Oh my god, I couldn't find the whole word. Oh, okay. Here it goes. Yeah. Oh, it's not ting and yang, it's yin and yang. It's Y-I-N. Y-I-N. No G, it's Y-I-N. Y-I-N, my friend. It's called Y-I-N. And yang is Y-A-N-G. You're right. Yeah. So yin and yang. So when we become like so angry, so pissed off, and after shouting at a person, what we feel? We feel like so exhausted, which means that we actually have run a lot of burned a lot of like young energy inside our body. And once you have burned a lot of young energy inside your body, the whole balance is broken. And that is bad for your health, right? So if we say that the whole world is comprised of all the yang qi and yin qi, which basically also means that when your body comes into being, there's just this amount of yang qi and yin qi inside you, right? It's like in a person's body, there are just that many number of cells, right? If you have, well, of course, cells can reproduce itself, just like yin qi and yang qi, they could reproduce itself. However, if you burn too much of it, the speed of burning it cannot be compromised or cannot be made up using with the speed of producing them, then you're running out of the qi inside your body. And that is how people are not able to live as long as 140 years old. Right. So we definitely need to follow all the habits according to the traditional Chinese theory, that people definitely need to follow all the routines that could help them to produce more yin qi and yang qi and always like keep the balance rather than always burning the yin qi and yang qi and not giving your body enough time to reproduce all the yin qi and yang qi, right? Yeah. Breathing exercise can help to bring the balance back. Yes, exactly. Yeah, breathing exercise. There are many exercises we could do to bring the balance back, right? Yeah. So also inside the book, because it's very interesting. So Eastern and Western wisdom, there are many things shared in common. Yeah. So for example, when I read this book at the very beginning, it said like the purpose of this book I was sharing was actually teaching people how to do fortune telling using the Chinese wisdom system. So the first two chapter was about explaining the basics, about like explaining what is qi. Qi is the base of everything, right? And then qi is split into yin and yang, and then yin and yang split into five different elements. So only finished the first two chapters. The first two chapters basically only explain the very basic and everything. Okay. So, however, the logic behind that, like very similar to the Western books I previously shared in my live streaming, told you guys about this book called The Inner Sky, right? The Inner Sky basically explained the Western like fortune telling system, like by telling how a person is like, not only the fortune telling, but also telling the personality about a person, using the Western system, which basically is a horoscope system, right? And when I started reading this book about like the Chinese system, I feel like there's so many things that shared in common. There's so many things that shared in common that is very interesting. So the basic logic behind those two books are the exactly same, which says that okay, so why does your date of birth so important, matters so much when it comes to horoscope, telling, or like Chinese, ancient Chinese Taoism telling? It says that because the moment a person is born, how this person comes into being and come into this world, and how this person is gonna have the inborn personality is decided by all the different elements in the universe. In the Western system is about, when you were born, where the sun lies in the sky, where does moon lie in the sky, where does the Venus lie in the sky, all different sorts of the planets, they would and just start to send forces, send energy to you, and all the different forces or the energy sent to you would make you become who you are today. So that is the theory in the West. And when I started to read the book about the East, the very, very exact same. Okay. So the theory is like very interesting. It says that okay, we say like everything in this world is comprised of qi, right? And so when a baby was born into the world, that is the moment the baby start to breathe, right? If you start to breathe in and breathe out, the baby start to absorb all the qi, right? So the moment how this world is like is the moment like how the qi is like in this world the moment the baby was born, and that is something gonna decide how the baby's personality is like. So theory is like exactly the same. Exactly the same. Yeah. Now you if you excuse me, I will need to lay down and tackle food poisoning. Oh my god, what happened to you, Ray? I hope everything is fine. Go to the hospital if you continue to feel sick. My friend, food poisoning is not a small deal. Yeah, if you feel like food poisoning, like just go to hospital to have a check, okay, my friend. Yeah, and guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so, okay? Don't forget to follow me, my friend. Yeah. So it was surprising to see that the theory behind the East and West is like exactly same. It's not like oh they share something in common. The logic behind that is like exactly the same. So like very very interesting when I read it yesterday. So in Chinese, when we say there's a so the Chinese word for destiny is called 命运. Okay, so the Chinese word for destiny is called 命运. So 命运 comprised of two words, right? The first is 命 and second one is 运, right? With 命 and 运, it means destiny. So does anyone know what does 命 and 运 means inside destiny? What does these two letters mean inside this word destiny, the Chinese translation of destiny? 有谁可以跟我解释一下命是什么意思，运是什么意思吗？ Once I explain it, you guys would feel like so amazing. You would feel like so amazing, like the how Chinese way of saying many things, like how the Chinese words are made of, how Chinese words there are like lots of like wisdom behind that. Yeah, just guess, take a guess. Like what does 命 and 运 means inside the word 命运, which means destiny in Chinese. Okay, yeah. The take a guess. Just take a guess, my friend, in the comment area. I can give you guys a very good example. For example, in Chinese, the word crisis is called 危机. Okay, the Chinese word Chinese translation of crisis is called 危机. So 危 means danger, and 机 means opportunity. Don't you find that like super super wise, the Chinese way of saying it? Because in a crisis you do see danger, however at the same time you also see opportunity. So that is why like we say in Chinese 危机, the Chinese translation of crisis is actually a combination of danger and opportunity. We call it 危机. So same with 命运. Yeah, so you guys take a guess, okay? Take a guess. What does the destiny, the Chinese translation of destiny mean? Yeah, so there are two words called 命运, 命 and 运 inside the Chinese translation of destiny. So what does 命 means and what does 运 means? Take a guess. I'm pretty sure many Chinese friends don't know it either because I don't know it until I read this book, my friend. I'm back. Hi, Casey. Welcome back. What is Cassie or Casey? Yeah, welcome back. Good to see you. Good to see you. Life and the movement. Yeah, guys, take a guess. Like people, more people come and take a guess. What does 命 and 运 mean inside the word 命运, which means destiny? Yeah. And also take into consideration what I just shared with you guys, my friend. What I just shared with you guys. I shared with you guys about I shared with you guys something about like right when everyone, no matter it's in the Western system or the Eastern system, like when the person is born, depending on where the sun lies, where the moon lies, where the energy, different energy elements inside the universe is there, and how they are comprised, what's the proportion that decides how the person is like. Just think about that, what I just said before, and combine that to take a guess. Yeah. Ming is your background, and Yun is your effort and luck. Take a guess. What is Ming and Yun? Yeah, what is Ming and Yun? Fate and fortune. Yeah. Have you ever been a teacher? I've never been a teacher. Yeah. Somehow. Okay, so life path, my journey. Well, I'm asking my friends to take a guess. What does the Ming, the first letter of destiny in Chinese mean, and what's the second letter in destiny means in Chinese? Yeah, take a guess. Yeah. Born to succeed. No, not right, not right. Well, some people are actually quite right. Predetermined and dynamic. Yeah. Not really. Okay, so I'm gonna explain it. You guys will be like very amazed by it. So destiny. What does destiny mean? We're gonna just explain it in English, right? What does destiny mean? Destiny basically means okay, so when a person is born, so pretty much the life path of the person is determined, so that is the destiny, right? So that's the like the official meaning of destiny, right? So the Chinese word destiny translated into Chinese is called 命运, and the first word 命 means birth, reincarnation, nature, nurture. No, not really. The outcome, not really. But I like the fact that you guys are really interacting with me and sending me the answers, okay? Not exactly, okay? So 命 means fixed elements. So which means like when a person is born, all the fixed elements, all the fixed qi elements inside the universe that would cast influence on this person. Okay? So 运 is throughout his or her life, things that happened in his or her life that would then later decide how the life path is like. A very good metaphor is that Ming is like a car. For example, you have a car, you build a car, how is car, so when a car is manufactured, right, it has like how many doors, what's the shape, what's the color, it's already determined, it's fixed, right? So just imagine that, okay, we can no longer do anything to the car, right, later, okay? So just a car, like what's the color of this car? It was when it's manufactured, is determined. So that is mean. However, which road will it drive on? Is if it's gonna be if you're gonna drive the car on a very flat, very wide road, the car will drive very smoothly, and potentially it can be maintained for longer. The how long are you able to drive this car will be longer, right? However, if you are driving the car in a very muddy road, a very jumpy road, very small road, and the car will have to experience a lot of like how to say jumps, and then the car is not going to run as smoothly compared to a car that is able to drive on a very like flat, very smooth path, right? So the road is like the yun. So there are like multiple facts that could decide the road, like what are you going to experience, and that later on will decide how your fate is like. And the car itself is fixed, right? There's no way like okay, you can decide what the car is like, because once a car is manufactured, it's manufactured with what color, how many wheels, and what's the machine in it, you know? So that's a Chinese translation of 命运. So 命 means fixed. When you're born, what are the elements that decide your like inborn personality, like your inborn thing, like many inborn, like so that is why like in the Chinese system we say there are five elements, right? So when you come to a Chinese like feng shui master, you show the date of your birth. The feng shui master would say that, oh, you have a lot of water in you, you have like very little fire in you, because all the five elements is fixed the moment you're born. The moment when you are born, all the different elements, how much of the fire in your body, how much of the water in your body, these are all predetermined. So these are called Ming. However, later on throughout your life journey, many variables will then come to your life. And all those variables becomes Yun. So destiny, like, did you find like it's very interesting? It's very wise to say that destiny is comprised of fixed factors, like your inborn factors, like your date of birth decides your inborn personality, and like the variables, because many things that happened along the way will then later change your personality and change many things, change your mind, change your way of thinking, and eventually change your life. And these are all the variables that is called yun. So the Chinese word of destiny basically means fixed elements and variable elements together combined to be your destiny. Is that very interesting, my friend? Do you find it interesting? Yeah, do you find it interesting, my friend? Yeah. Watch Avatar, The Last Airbender is cartoon but has a lot of Eastern philosophy. Oh, sure, sure, my friend. Yeah, thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, guys, follow me, please. You love it, right? Yeah, is it interesting, my friend? Yeah, yeah. Type yes if you think it's very interesting. Type yes, it's very interesting, my friend. Do you find it interesting? Yeah. Just I'm waiting for you guys to type yes. Okay, I'm gonna have some water. Yeah. It is like your genotype fixed characters and the environment control expression. Yeah, you said it in such a great way, my friend. You concluded in such a great way. It's like your genotype type fixed characters and the environment control expression. Yeah, just let us remember. Let us recall like what when we are first born. Like everyone is born with an inborn personality, right? This inborn personality. So also like when some parents when they have twins, they will also would discover that even though they're born almost at the very same time, somehow like one teen twin will have a very extrovert personality and the other twin will have a like introvert personality, right? So basically like even for twins they were born at a very similar time, they would have like different personalities. So people do have an inborn personalities, right? And later on like throughout the years, like every one of us, like we all have an inborn personality. Like I was born also having an inborn personality. According to my parents, my inborn personality is pretty introvert. Like I was like very, very introvert when I was like a baby. Like I was like super, super shy of seeing people, like very, very introvert. That was my inborn thing. That was my me, right? That was my me. Somehow, like when you guys see me today, I'm like always very good at express myself, like super, super extrovert, super, super outgoing. That is my yun because later things happen to my life and makes me become like so outgoing and becomes completely different because I have experienced a lot. I have changed a lot, right? And it happens to all of you guys too, right? You have an inborn personality. And just recall like what you were like 10 years ago and like and compared to yourself today. I'm pretty sure you have like experienced lots of change in yourself. Like you today are no longer the person you were 10 years ago, right? And why there is a difference between the 10 years, right? How come you're able to change so much in the 10 years? It's because of yun, like many things happened to you so that all those kind of things made you change to become who you are today, right? So that is called yun, okay? So destiny is Ming plus yun, okay? So come back to the major topic, which is how to live longer, okay? How to live longer. How to live longer is about how to spell that Chinese word like Ming Yun, right? Um, well, we don't spell it, we just write it, okay? I can write it down, my friend, so that you can see how it's written, okay? Yeah, how to written. Yeah, 哎，我还得写个镜像呢，我看一下镜像字怎么写。Let me see if it's right. No, it's not right. Let me see if it's right. Okay, I'm gonna just do it. 这个镜像的怎么想？How to write it in mirror? Yeah, how to write in mirror? Because this camera is mirror, so if I want to write it down, it will be. Oh, okay. Anyway, I give up. I'm just gonna write it down in. Okay, so it should be the mirror way. Okay, it should be the mirror way. So this is how we write it. 命运. So this is what I say 命, what you were born, the fixed element in your destiny. And this is 运, is the variable elements in your destiny. Yeah. Oh, right. Louis the Cat, you're good at Chinese, my friend. You're good at Chinese. Yeah, Chinese characters. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. You now know how to write it in Chinese. Yeah. Yeah. So back to the topic. So how does that matter to how to make our life longer, right? Yeah. So remember, so people, different people, when they were born, 看起来是反的镜像嘛，对，因为这个 camera，所以你们要反过来看，yeah. Oh, you've been learning for a month. Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic, Louis the Cat. Yeah, it's a mirror reflection. So it's actually the other way around. It should be left to right, right to left, where you really write it in Chinese. Okay, so don't copy what I just wrote. Okay, yeah, don't copy what I just wrote. It should be the mirror way. Okay, because of the camera. Yeah. So people were born to have some people were born to have a stronger body, right? And some people were born to have a weaker body, right? Because the moment when you were born, there are like fixed elements inside your body, 五行, 对吧? For example, like some people when they were born, they just naturally born with a body not so balanced, right? You have like a lot of that, but very, very little this. So everything is not so balanced. So some people are born to be not so healthy. However, other people are born to be having a very strong body, right? However, why? Sometimes people who have weaker body are able to live longer life, right? And some people who have strong body are not able to live a longer life because of what? Because of V, right? We say like how people are born with strong body or born with like weaker body, that is mean. This is something you could not determine, right? This is something like you were born, your parents gave you the body, right? Oh, it's also very interesting in China. Like some parents would do C-section even though they could have like a natural birth, but they would choose to do C-section is because they would find a feng shui master and try to calculate what is the best time to give birth to this baby so that the baby was born with the date of the time of birth that is considered to be a very good, like I said, good mean, right? Has a very good mean, like because I said like the moment you are born, like depending on all the different elements in the world will comes to decide what the personality you are and how strong your body is, decide your mean, right? So some parents in China, they would actually go find pay a lot of money and find a feng shui master and try to calculate what is the best mean, what is the best mean, what is best time to have the baby so that the baby will have a best mean. Okay, so that's why like some new mom would then have a C-section at the very very exact time that feng shui master said, okay, you should have the baby on on April 8th at 8:30 a.m. That's the best mean. Okay, so they actually make an appointment with the doctor and say that, hey doctor, I need you to give me C-section and make sure that when the baby was taken out of my belly, that was exactly 8:30 a.m. of April 8th. Yeah, that is not like a joke, okay, my friend. That's really, really what's going on. That's really what happened here in China, my friend. Yeah, is that very is that something have you heard about that? Is that something new to you? Is that something you heard for the very first time, my friend? Yeah, is that something you heard for the very first time? Yeah. If yes, if yes, type one, my friend. Um, I want to see like how many of you guys are actually heard about this tradition, this Chinese routine for the very first time. Pretty sure many Chinese people know about it, but for foreign friends, you probably don't know about it. Yeah, is it new to you, my friend? Is it new to you? Have you heard of it before? Is it new to you, my friend? Yeah. But women has got to be scary. Not really, my friend. Hedge. It's not really scary, but for women, like people, many women just choose to have C-section, right? Because like natural birth is considered to be more painful, right? You have to experience the pain at the very beginning. However, C-section is like you just have a C-section and take the baby out, right? The whole process. Some women just prefer to have C-section instead of having like natural birth. It's just that okay, when the baby is like very close to coming out, okay, so they wouldn't do that. Oh, okay, I start to understand why you say like it's scary. So women would not like take the baby out when the time is not there, okay. So usually when the time, for example, once the baby is 39 weeks old, right, then you could actually consider taking the babies out, right, or let the baby stay in for a longer. It's just there is a period of time you could decide whether you should take the baby out or not without hurting the baby, right? So for that period of time, then some Chinese women would then Chinese families would go find a feng shui master and decide, okay, so my baby is very soon about to be 39 weeks old and about the time to come out. We could definitely wait till the baby is out. However, we want the baby to have a very good mean. Can you calculate exactly after 39 weeks old, which is the best time for the baby to come out? And then the feng shui master will then do this. Yeah. And it's very interesting. Another interesting thing to share, okay? So you see like many Chinese like fortune teller feng shui master, they would do this, right? Have you seen it? Like how many of you guys have seen like the feng shui master have done this? Yeah. How many of you have seen it? Yeah. Say yes if you have seen it. Say no if you haven't seen it. How many of you? Pretty sure Chinese people have seen it. Not sure about the foreign friends. Have you seen like for a feng shui master or a fortune teller, they would do something like this? How many of you guys have seen it like this? How many of you have seen it? Say yes if you have seen it, like doing something like this. Say yes if you have seen it. Say no if you haven't seen it. Yeah. So many people have seen it, right? I see like many people said yes, right? So what does this mean? Why are they doing it? Why are they doing it in dramas, right? Yeah. So why are they doing it? Take a guess. Why are they doing it? What's it on the fingers? Are they doing it? Why are they doing it? What's there on the fingers? Why are they doing this? Why it's not this? Right? Why it's not this? Why it's not this? Why is it this? Right? Why is this? It's definitely counting, but what's on the fingers? Are they counting, my friend? What's it on their fingers? Are they counting? Why are they doing it? Yeah, counting your itchy fingers is because itchy, right? Whenever they start to calculate, when they start to do fortune telling, they just feel like the finger becomes so itchy and they start to scratch the fingers by doing it. Oh my god, Louis the cat, you're so funny. Yeah, to to release stress. No, my friend. Are they counting days, hours, months? Right. Yeah. So I haven't really studied that in depth. However, somehow, so in Chinese wisdom, there are, okay, this is something, again, this shared in similar. Like a lot of thing is in 12, right? So China has like, we have in Chinese system, there's a 天干 and 地支. 天干地支. So 天干 means how we are able to count the days, and 地支 means how we are able to count the month. So when the sun rises and sun falls, that is one day, right? So every day, we like in the year we have so many days, so many times that the sun comes up and sun comes down, right? And that is like one day. And so 天干 is used as a way to count the days, and 地支 is a way we use to count the month, right? So when the moon goes from round to nothing, right? And from nothing to round, that is 1 month, right? So there are like month, so we would count month, right? So in Chinese system, the 天干地支, they're altogether 10 days in the cycle and 12 months in the cycle, right? 12 months in the cycle and 10 days in the cycle. Yeah. So like you do see like a lot of 12s, right? Also in the Western system, there are also a lot of 12s, right? And in astrology, right, there are also 12 horoscope, right? So in Chinese also there are 12 zodiacs, always 12, right? So there are many things that's shared in common. So the theory is, so to be honest, like I feel like these are definitely not superstition, definitely not superstition. So how come like the Asian way of analyzing all those like destiny, everything is like exactly the same as the Western destiny, right? Like many things, the basic fundamental theory are the very same, right? So 天干地支, like I explained, 天干 is like the days, how Asian people are able to count the days, right? So in Chinese specifically, it's 甲乙丙丁，甲乙丙丁，我靠，甲乙丙丁后面是什么？啊？Anyone helps me？我甲乙丙丁之后是啥忘了？甲乙丙丁壬己什么鬼啊？我靠，忘了。Can anyone help me? What is after 甲？哦，yeah,甲乙丙丁戊己庚辛，壬癸，right? That's like 10. 甲乙丙丁丙戊己，像绕口令一样。甲乙丙丁戊己庚辛壬癸，right? That is like the 10 days, like how we are able to count it, the 10 days. That is called 天干. And 地支 is 12. 地支 is 啥？子丑寅卯，子丑寅卯，我靠，what is 子丑寅卯 afterwards? I couldn't remember it. 子丑寅卯，子丑寅卯 what is that? After 子丑寅卯，anyone helps me? What is after 子丑寅卯？背不出来了。哦，子丑寅卯辰巳午未，然后呢，子丑寅卯亥，对，子丑寅亥，哦，OK，子丑寅卯辰巳午未申酉戌亥，right，申酉戌亥。Okay, definitely need some of the notes in here. Yeah, thanks for many Chinese friends helping me with that. Yeah. So, okay, back to the question. So, why are all of those fortune tellers doing this? It's because if you look at the fingers, there are like three parts of the fingers, right? So they would do like well, I don't remember exactly how to do it. Okay, I don't remember exactly how to do it. So it's like, so, but I do remember they would do like 子丑 something like, for example, 子丑寅卯某子丑寅卯辰巳午未什么申酉戌亥 something like that. Okay, so different fingers, like different, like what's it called, the knots, right? Different knots of it. There's a line in here which means like one 地支, I think. One of those, like, thing how you count the moon. Okay, how you count like 1 month, like the moon. So they actually are using it to count. So Ludica, you're actually, is it you who said that is the counting? Yeah, joints, right? So they're actually using the joints as a way to count. Yeah, they're using it as a way to count. So that's why they do this. Okay. Yeah, 子丑寅卯辰巳午未, something like that. They use it to count. So that's why they doing it. Okay, my friend. Yeah. Fun fact. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. So many people are actually sharing. Like, you guys know a lot. Yeah. 子丑寅卯辰巳午未. So like the 12 zodiacs in Chinese are also linked to the 12 地支, right? So 子 is the rat, 丑 is the cow, right? 子鼠丑寅,子鼠丑牛, 寅, something like it, right? There's 12 zodiacs. Everything that's the 12, right? Yeah. So that is why they are doing this, like calculating what is the time and destiny for you and you. So that is why, like, for those women, they want to decide a very good timing for their baby to be born. They go to a feng shui master, and the feng shui master will start to do this, right? To calculate, what might be the good time for this baby to be born. And then tell the pregnant woman, okay, just make sure your baby is born at this specific timing, and the baby is going to have a very good, relatively better mean than afterwards, right? So back to the topic again, back to the major topic, how to live longer. From time to time, we just expand on, elaborate on a certain topic and just forget about the major topic today, right? How to live longer, my friend. How to live longer. So first of all, make sure you have a good mean, right? So for all of us, we are already born, right? We are already born. Like, you come to the live streaming, you're already born, right? There's no way are you able to change your mean, right? Because you're already born. Well, maybe one thing you could do is when, for example, when you're having babies in the future, you could find a feng shui master, decide the right time for your baby to be born. Maybe that is something you're able to change the mean. But somehow, you know, we are already born. There's nothing we could do to change our mean. So the only way we could do in order to live longer, how to live longer, is to change our yun, right? To change many things that we do later in the life so that we're able to live a longer life, right? So what are the things that we could do to change the yun? Okay, many things that can happen to our lives that we cannot control, right? We cannot control, for example, COVID comes, right? When COVID come, it becomes like so devastating to many people's health, and some people even pass away because of those big disease come into their life, right? However, throughout our lives, there are many things that we could do to make our body to maintain a relatively stronger status, like a healthier status, right? For example, that is why yesterday we said share something that don't have overly exaggerated emotions. Like, don't be overly angry, right? Because according to a very famous figure in Chinese ancient history, Sun Simiao, which is king of medicine, that 这个怒伤身, which means like when you're being like overly over angry, you're actually burning the yang energy inside your body. Once you burn too much yang energy inside your body, then the whole balance is broken. Then you changed your yun, right? And also, there's also a Chinese saying, 爱笑的人通常都运气都不会太差, right? Which means that for those people who always smile, usually has a pretty good lucky life. There's a Chinese saying like that, my friend. Yeah. So, well, why? If you think deeper into that, why people who like to smile would have a better luck than people who don't smile a lot, right? Can you guys explain? I think it's pretty easy to explain, right? It's pretty easy to explain why people who smile would have a better luck than others, right? Can anyone explain that in the comment area so that I can take a break and have some water? As of last night, we're going for 140. Yeah, we're sharing the secret of how people are able to live 140 years old Yeah, so we are all aiming to live 140 years old. Whoever in the live streaming, we are going to live 140 years old. So that is why you need to follow me, okay? Guys, have you followed me? If you haven't followed me, follow me, my friends. Yeah, follow me, friends. Yeah, exactly. 心态决定一切。王太太说的太对了。Yeah, positive attitude, right? CQ, you're right. Yes. So when you always smile to people, when people see you, they see you smile. People just want to be very friendly with you, right? And people just want to help you because they feel like you're nice, you're very approachable, and you are very cute when you smile, right? So when you have people who want to help you and you get lots of help, then you start to be very lucky, right? Very lucky. So that's why we say this Chinese saying that 爱笑人通常运气都不会太差, which basically means for those who like to smile usually have a very lucky life, right? So so that is why the other way around, like, okay, so by always smiling, it implies a kind of life status which is like very calm, but at the same time, relatively speaking, happy, right? You're relatively happy, you always have a very positive mood, then you start to have all the luck coming over to you, and you're having a better yun, right? And then you have a like smoother life. So it all makes like sense, right? However, when you're very angry, right? You're always very angry. First of all, like when you have lots of angers, that's not good for your health, right? Scientific study has shown that, for example, when people who gets angry very often, they usually would have, when you become so angry, the blood pressure will go up. When you have a very high blood pressure, it's not good for the veins in your brain, right? For people who are always angry, very easily get those kind of disease like a heart attack or like strokes, right? All those kind of problems. So scientifically, there is proof that if people get very angry, then they would suffer from like disease more often than people who don't get angry very often. There are scientific study behind that, my friend, right? Yeah. And guys, follow me, please. Yeah. There's some good guys left who left. Yeah. Guys, follow me, please. Okay. Yeah. So that is like logically, like scientifically, there's proof that's showing that. So according to the Chinese traditional theory, right, if you become like angry a lot, it takes away the sun energy, facing the sun energy, yang, right, out of your body. And once you have all the energy taken away from you, then there's like an imbalance inside your body, and you will likely to get sick. So even though the kind of the explanation of this thing is like very different from the explanation of the modern science. However, the conclusion is very same. The conclusion is very same, right? So you just consider the Chinese theory to be a black box, okay? So there's like you can't just really explain it in a very detailed using all the modern science deduction, like to deduct like what's one thing that comes to the next thing, oh, everything like that. Just imagine this is a whole theory and somehow it works, right? Because it comes to the right conclusion. It takes away all the young energy out of you. And when you're running out of young energy, there's you no longer has any other energy to support you. And you start to have like lots of disease coming into you, and eventually people become sick, right? So rule number one, guys, all of us need to be happy, but not overly happy, okay? Just try to control our temper, control our emotion to make our emotion always stay in a range. Like never be overly excited, overly happy, overly sad, overly angry. Like it's okay to be, very calm at the same time. What would be better if you be calm, but at the same time, relatively speaking, more positive and happy? That is considered to be the best status. Okay. So that is the rule number one, the first secret according to the Asian Chinese wisdom that how we are able to live longer, my friend. Yeah, how we're able to live longer. Yeah, yeah. Positive energy keeps you balanced. Exactly. Yeah. What is your profile picture? It's a AI generated photo. Do you like it? I think it's a very cool. It's a very cool profile photo. Do you think so? Yeah. What happens if you stab chopstick on my rice? Well, nothing happens. It's just like stabbing the chopstick on your rice just looks like you're already dead. It's considered to be unlucky, right? You don't want to be unlucky because it looks like forgot this word again. How to say 上香啊?上香. It looks like you're visiting someone who's passed away, and you put a 香火, how to say 香火? You put an incense right in front of the gravestone, right, the tombstone, like that. So it's considered to be not lucky, right, my friend? But as a matter of fact, nothing happens. So I guess as a Westerner, you guys can feel free to stab chopsticks on your rice. It's just that our Asians, we wouldn't do that. Yeah. 关注了美丽好学的小老师，谢谢，Thank you, my friend. Yeah. So, bad taste. No, it doesn't make the rice taste bad, my friend. Once you stab a chopstick on the rice, yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, like back to the topic, okay? So the first secret is definitely, yeah, definitely keep the temper mild, have a mild temper. That is how people are able to live longer, okay? How that is how you're able to change your yun, okay? So that's the first thing. Of course, there are second things according to the Chinese wisdom. It's not only Taoism, it's also Buddhism. It's like in many of the Chinese Asian philosophy, which is about doing good deeds, doing good deeds. There's a very, very famous book in Chinese called Liao Fan Si Xun. I read it when I was very little. 啊，上班去搬砖了，好，加油，梁峰，加油，加油，好好上班啊，my friend. Yeah. So guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please. Yeah. So there's a very famous book called Liao Fan Si Xun. Have anyone Chinese friends in the live streaming? Have you guys read it? Any Chinese friends have read this book called Liao Fan Si Xun? Yeah, if you have read it, write yes or type one. Type one if you have read it, my friend. Is there any Chinese friends who had read this book, Liao Fan Si Xun? Or foreign friends, if you have read it, that would be great too. Yeah. Or there's no Chinese people in my live streaming, only foreigners. Yeah，有没有谁读过《了凡四训》这本书的？有读过的来 type one. Yeah, type one if you have read this book called 了凡四训. Yeah, yeah. Okay, not many people. Wait, is it because people are not interacting with me or it's because nobody has read it? Okay, type one if you read it, type two if you have not read, if had not heard about this book. Okay? Yeah. Type one if you have read this book, 了凡四训. Type two if you have not read this book, have not heard about this book, 了凡四训. 有人说只读过《聊斋志异》。Yeah, type two. Okay, that's why I see nobody answered. What do you mean by type three, my friend? Every time I ask people to type one or two, there are always people who type three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Yeah, two. Okay, I am reading this book. Oh, great, great. Yeah. Okay, majority of people have not read it, but I still have seen people who read about this book. Okay, 了凡四训. For those of people who have not read it, can go check it. Can go read it. Okay, can go read it. Okay, so this book is a very famous Chinese book, 了凡四训. I read it when I was very little, so somehow I don't really remember the exact story. Okay, so that is why I ask people who have read it because I need your help to help me recall the story inside 了凡四训. I don't really remember it exactly. Somehow I remember it told a story about a young man. So this young man, when he was born and he was able to meet a fortune teller, a very big fortune teller master, and the master predicted his life to be quite miserable. Like he's not able to have a son. So in ancient China, okay, nowadays like we have no discrimination against having daughters or sons. However, in ancient China there is, right? Because we say like if you have son, a son is able to inherit your last name and gonna make your blood flow. And when you have daughter, because daughter is gonna marry some other people's son and gonna marry into other people's family, so daughters are considered to be outsiders, not someone who can inherit your last name, but the sons are able to inherit the last name. So that's why, like in ancient China, all the families just want to have sons because having the sons, that means like my blood will be extended. Okay. So the fact that this fortune teller told him that okay, so by looking at your destiny, your Ming. Like in your Ming, you should not have a son. You would not have a son. That is considered to be a really bad news, right? And also some other things like about like the career, about his mom, like many like fortune telling. Basically, this guy doesn't have a very good Ming. He doesn't have a very good destiny. However, later on, he was able to change his yun. He was able to. So basically, how he's able to change his destiny is basically by doing lots of good deeds. After he started to do a lot of good deeds, there's this, the book as a story is like pretty interesting. I don't really remember exact details. So basically, because he started to do many things, and things start to change, and change very logically. It's not like change like very mysterious. Like many things change very logically according to this book. And afterwards, like he was able to have son, and he's able to, reach many goals that he was not supposed to have reached inside his life. So that kind of theory was not only in Liao Fan Cixun, but in many other philosophy in ancient China, which is about like a human beings. If you want to live a very long life, you have to do good deeds, right? 多行善事，好人有好报嘛，对吧？ There are many saying like China. So that's why I say like Chinese people are like very kind people, like very friendly people, because in the very deep root of our culture, in the very deep root our culture, we do have this saying that if you be a good person, if you be good, you do good deeds, you don't do any bad deeds, you are able to live a longer life, you're able to live a smoother life. And also, if we talk about like the also a philosophy, which is 因种果，对吧? That's also like Chinese. Whatever you grow, the fruit you grow, you will receive the whatever seeds you put into the soil, you will be able to get the fruits, right? If you put a good seed in the soil, you will get a very good fruit eventually. If you put a bad seed in it, you will get a bad fruit. So if you do good deeds, which is like by putting good seed in the soil, and eventually you'll be rewarded in other ways. So this is like so deeply rooted in Chinese people's mind. So that Chinese people, whenever we do things, like we would just focus on doing good deeds. So that's why I say, overall speaking, I consider Chinese people to be a nation of people who are really kind of are really good, because in our deep down philosophy, we have this philosophy that we would have to do good deeds because we want to harvest the good results and live a smoother and big life. Yeah, that sounds very Confucius. Yeah. So to be honest, like no matter you're talking about Confucius, Confucianistic, or that is like the Confucius system, right? Confucius system or Buddhism system or Taoism system, they share all the kind of same mindset, like doing kind things, doing good things, right? And you're right, my friend. You said that what's it? What's it? You said I saw very 命由我做，福自己求, right? Yeah, that's a very good saying. What's the other thing you guys said? You reap what you sow, right? You reap what you sow, right? Exactly. That's a definitely a very good way of 你好的吗? Thank you, Rapid. That's a very interesting way of you writing it. 你好的吗? Yeah. And guys, follow me, please. Okay. Same for Muslims, right? I guess that's a very same for other like different philosophy system as well, right? But let's talk less about religion. Somehow that is not so welcome on the platform of Retno. So yeah. So just okay. So guys, let's stop with typing anything religion because that is not so good for the platform Retno. They don't like things like that. Yeah. So we're just gonna continue back to the topic about we're going to continue to talk back to the topic about how to live longer. Okay, yeah. So we have actually talked a lot about the Chinese wisdom, right? We say that, okay, we first shared about like people should never be overly angry, and also yesterday we also shared something like don't think too much, right? When you think too much, then it will gonna hurt your body as well. Okay, so very interesting. Oh, don't apologize. That's fine. Yeah, you don't know about it. But after I told you, you know about it. That is fine. Okay. Yeah. So, like for me, something also very interesting happened to me as well. Okay. So I shared with you guys that recently, very very recently, basically just the day before yesterday, came to this conclusion that I shouldn't overthink. I think too much. Right. My brain is always functioning. Right. I always like think all the time. I never realized that that's gonna hurt my body as well. It was like very recently, like 2 days ago, I realized, actually, according to Sun Simiao, the king of medicine, that thinking too much is gonna hurt the yin qi, the yin energy in your body, and that is not good for your body. I just realized that, and that's why I share that with you guys, and we elaborate a bit around that, and everything just makes sense, right? If you think too much, you would not be able to sleep very well at the night, right? If you don't have very good sleep, how are you able to be very energetic? How are you able to have very good health, right? And also, like if you think too much, If you think too much, also you will start to have a lot of internal struggles. We have a lot of internal struggles, then some people will start to have like mental illness, right? Yeah. So, you know, 也有这样的说法，好人不长命，祸害一千年. That is also true, right? So that's why like we shouldn't like overthink think too much, right? Let our brain rest from time to time. So after I shared that, I said that I actually implemented that starting from yesterday. So I started to deliberately letting my brain to rest from time to time and told myself that, okay, hey, Nitrix, if you want to live longer, now is the time you need to let your brain stop thinking. It is time for you to rest your brain. So I did that to myself. And my guys, you know what happens? All of a sudden I feel like once I started to train my brain like that, I started to do that like for every moment. For example, I have already worked for 2 hours. Then starting from now, I just train my brain, told myself, okay, it's the moment that you need to stop thinking. Okay. Let's give the brain like half an hour break. For the next half an hour, I'm gonna just stop thinking for nothing and then just relax the brain. Maybe I could just find something to do, something else to do, just have the rest. And after I started doing that, I immediately feel the change of my body. Okay. The first change, I start to feel like my body is so much more relaxed. The kind of a relaxed feeling that I didn't have for a very, very long time. The kind of relaxed feeling I would only have whenever I go to a tourist destination. For example, go to Bali Island, go to Phuket Island, and then I start to find the serenity in my body, the kind of relaxed feeling in my body. However, after I doing that yesterday, I start to feel like I can have that even though I'm not at a tourist destination. I can have that. That is considered to be a luxury, like kind of the serenity kind of status I could only have when I go to a tourist attraction, like going to the beach, right? However, somehow like I was able to have that. It makes me feel like so much more comfortable, right? To let the brain stop thinking a lot and be, yeah. And when I resume working, I can be like so much more focused, right? And become like even more efficient, right? And that's the first thing I feel. And second thing is about the skin texture. Okay, all the ladies, listen. All the ladies, listen. You need to stop thinking too much, okay? Because when I did it yesterday, and when I woke up this morning, I could feel the skin texture become so much better. The skin starts to glow, my friend. The skin starts to glow. It's almost like a magic. So it's I didn't do anything special to my skin, that I didn't like apply other skincare products or etc. Basically what I did is one thing, which is like stop thinking too much, right? I told you guys basically my brain was functioning 24 hours, so even though like I would sleep, I still would think till I sleep night, in case wake up, I couldn't fall asleep again because my brain just started to think. Yeah, but now I trained my brain to stop thinking and let it rest from time to time. And once I started doing it, my goodness, like I could feel the change of my body. Just this morning when I wake up, I could just feel the glow of my skin. Can you guys see the glow of my skin? You see this glow of my skin, my friend? Yeah, you guys can see it, right? I can see it here. Like the skin is glowing, right? The kind of glow that I don't have it before, right? The skin is glowing. So when I calm down, my skin becomes softer. You have the same experience, Howard, right? Yeah, yeah. It's funny, she hasn't seen one of my messages. What message do you send? Yeah. Miracle, that means you're still young. No, it's not because I'm young, my friend. I'm actually not that young, to be honest. I'm not gonna tell you guys my age, but somehow like I do look young, I know, because I do take good care of myself, but I'm not that young as many people imagine. So, but just try miracle, try like all the things I said, like have a milder temper, and also try to make your body more relaxed. For example, if you are a person like me who always worry a lot, like very anxious, just try to release all those kind of anxiety in your body. Just try to think less and let your brain, specifically your brain, to rest more, and start to observe your skin. Like your skin do shine. That's what happened to me. Like I start to see all the difference that happens to my body, which is like amazing, which is like so amazing. So that's basically something else. Like I feel like, yeah, go back. I'm tired of typing. What would you say? Okay, G Shap, I'm gonna pay special attention to your comments. So sorry I didn't read your comments. Yeah. Sorry, I needed my sunglasses. What? You guys are having a good time chatting in the common area, which is fantastic. Yeah. So basically, that is why what we just discussed, right? So also the second secret is by thinking less. That is how you're able to also live a longer life, right? So these are all about emotion, right? About like less angry, also think less. These are all about emotion, right? When you have so control your temper. Milder is about emotion very directly. Also think less, like your brain rests, right? Like your brain rest also means that you become less anxiety, less anxious, right? Less pressure. These are also about like, kind of a psychology, right? So nowadays there are so many people having mental health issues. So by implementing these two rules, right? By following these two rules, that is how you're able to like deal with all those mental health issues and deal with all those psychological disorders, right? Psychological problems. And also, as a result of that, you're going to live a longer life. There's a lot of debate saying that, okay, whether should a person smoke or drink. There's a saying, there's some scientific study behind like seeing some people who are drinking and cigarettes, always smoking, and then they're not able to, some studies that shows that for people who smoke, who has like how much more percentage of the likeliness of getting like lung cancer, something like that, right? And alcohol, also like liver cancer, something like that. Lots of study around that. However, in China, you do see many old men who smoke and drink their entire life. Still, they're able to live very long, right? And have a very long life. What's the reason behind? If you observe like those people, it's not because they drink or smoke, it's because they live a happy life. They don't have like lots of pressure. 我们说通常这些人的心境都比较豁达。They are like able to face a lot of things. Like they just take many things very easily. They don't feel like very angry, upset, or like they don't have like strong emotions when like big things happen to them. They just take it easy. You know, it's it's a common trait of those people, even though they smoke a lot, drink a lot. Still, for example, my husband's grandpa, he will drink a lot and he smokes a lot, definitely. But still, he's 83, 84 years old, but every day he's like so energetic, just like someone who, and he also looks like so young, like looks like only 50 or 60 years old. And every day still going out and, like so energetic. Like he's not old at all. You couldn't even tell like he's that old. I actually made a post of him. You guys can check in my videos. There's one post of this grandpa and like how he sings like because he when he was little he was a singer, like when he was young he was a singer. So I posted a video of him singing. You guys can see with your own eyes like how energetic he is. But he's actually already 83, 84 years old and smoke every day and drink every day. However, he's definitely considered to be like the kind of person I just described, like take many things very easy, has a very, in Chinese we call it 有一个非常豁达的心态, like very easy. Yeah, so he said that, okay, some very funny story about this grandpa. When he was little, there was wars and also some how to say 饥荒, and he said that he even tried human meat. 饥荒, even said he had human meat. Famine. When he was little, there was famine and there's not enough food to eat. Every day there are people just dying. And he told us like when he's little, he even had human meat, because like people had nothing to eat back then. Yeah. So he has definitely seen a lot. He has definitely seen a lot, experienced a lot. Yeah, we even asked him how did that taste? Yeah, 饥荒, when you have nothing to eat, then you start to eat anything, right? So he said he did that. I'm not sure whether it's a lie or it's real, okay? And then and we asked him how does it taste, and he said basically just tastes like like didn't taste very good. Yeah, it's very scary. Yeah, back then. Yeah, I also find the story to be quite scary. Yeah. So, but I was just saying that basically. So if you want to see this grandpa, just go watch see one of my posts. Okay, just scroll down my go to my main page, just scroll down. You will see this grandpa. Okay. Yeah, you must be very curious to know how does this grandpa look like, right? So just go check the. But once you have saw this post, don't forget to press like. Okay, don't forget to press like. Okay, don't forget to click like. Okay, once you saw the video post of this very old grandpa. Yeah, so he definitely have experienced a lot in his life, right? He definitely experienced a lot. So he even had like human meat, right? So what else hasn't he not experienced? So he has definitely seen a lot, experienced a lot. So eventually throughout his life, he built this kind of heart, like he's very resilient, exactly. Yeah, and yeah, he has an amazing character, BB. You're right. Like very resilient, and like just take many things easy, no matter what kind of obstacles he faced. Like he's just feeling very open to all the kind of things. He also said to me that don't work very hard, right? Living a mediocre life is pretty good. Why do you need to buy a bigger apartment? Why do you need to pursue all the material things, right? Well, living a good life right now is good enough. Like that is also considered to be quite wise, right? That's the kind of mindset he has, right? He said there's also something like when it comes to my age, you will discover many things you used to pursue are pretty nonsense, like meaningless, right? So just be happy, just be satisfied with the life you're having right now. Just be satisfied with whatever you have. Just be grateful. Those are kind of the wisdom he said, shared with me. Yes, needs versus wants, right? There's another very interesting saying. I personally really like it. So, what is poor? What is poor? Poor means that you have $1 less. What you need is $1 less than what you have. Yeah, what you want is $1 less than what you have. That means you're poor. What does rich mean? Rich means that you have $1. You want $1. What you want is $1 more than what you have, right? 就是你想要的比你所有的少1块钱，你就是穷；你想要的比你所有的多1块钱，你就是富，right? It's not a like absolute scale, like how much money you have, that one means that you're rich, or absolute amount of money you have, you're poor. It's all about your desire. Like your desire, if your desire is more than what you have, no matter how rich you are, how much you have, you're considered to be poor. You would still consider yourself to be poor, right? Because you're never satisfied with whatever you have, right? You already have like gold, a lot of piles of gold, piles of silver, like a huge amount of money. However, you desire more, then you will still consider yourself to be poor. The other way around, you don't have a lot of money, you have very tiny amount of money. However, you feel like you're satisfied with everything, you don't desire more, then you would consider yourself to be rich, right? So that is the standard definition of rich and poor, right? So the grandpa seems to have those kind of mindset, like you need to be satisfied, happy with whatever you have, and be grateful with whatever you have. Then with that, you're going to have a very good, psychological mindset, right? Then you have a very healthy mindset. Like you're going to have a very good happy living, and that is a secret to living a very long life, right? It doesn't really matter like whether you smoke or drink. If you are able to have a very good mindset, if you're able, just like the grandpa, live the life like that, then you're also able to live a very long life, right? So these are also secrets of living long life, right? I guess this very interesting topics today, right? And guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so. Yeah, guys, follow me please if you haven't done so, okay? Yeah, it'd be great if you guys could follow me. And yeah, so that is like one thing, right? Of course, nowadays, well, definitely, if you could have a very good, healthy mindset, at the same time, quit smoking and quit drinking, that would be even better, right? Well, even though we say like you have a healthy mind, it would be better if you have a healthy body as well, right? So it seems like nowadays, scientifically, there are studies showing that for people who smoke too much or drink too much, that would cause harm to the body. So to protect our body, we should just drink less and not smoke, and also keep a healthy life, healthy mindsets. That's how we are able to live a longer life, right? Yeah. So these are all the big things, good things to do. Okay, so back to another great sharing, which is also back to Taoism. We have shared a lot of Taoism. We said if you look at the Confucius and the Taoism, Buddhism, like all the different things, like the fifth philosophy theories, right? The Taoism people actually have the longest life. They have longevity, like biggest longevity than the rest of others. So we definitely need to, in order to live longer, if we want to really live longer, so we definitely need to focus on Taoism. Okay, so that is the best wisdom we need to study. Yeah. Yeah, living well is very important. It may lead to living long, no guarantee. Yeah. So we are actually sharing the basically what I just shared is all about how to live well. And it's all based on the theory that once you live well, then you will be able to live longer, right? I was saying that you have a very good mindset. That would also cause your life quality to increase, right? You're to be enhanced, right? Once your life quality is enhanced, psychologically, you feel comfortable every day, you feel happy every day. That's how you're able to live longer life, right? Yeah. Let's see what do most people still smoke in China? I don't think most people. There are definitely a large population in China who smoke. You do see a lot of people on the street who smoke. However, when it comes to the younger generation, I don't see many younger generation who smoke cigarettes. But however, there is a trend that young people start to smoke e-cigarettes. So they will use something like a small thing, like smoke it, rather than using the normal cigarettes. So yeah, so there are like still people smoke. So I don't smoke. So yeah, finally what finally saw what you type in, right? Yeah, yeah. So also according to Taoism, it's very important that we live our life according to the rules of nature. According to the rules of nature. For example, there is a saying that you have to go to sleep at a certain time. You need to wake up at a certain time. For example, when the sun rises, then this is the time you need to wake up. 完全听不懂，我天呐！加油，小周要减肥，好好学英文，之后就能听懂了。加油，小周，可以先关注一下哦。Yeah, follow me, please. Okay, guys, follow me, please. Yeah. So there's a saying that okay, when the sun rises, that's also the time you need to rise, and when the sun falls, that also means the time you need to rest. Yeah. So you have to live your life according to the nature, according to the nature, and also for the spring, summer, fall, winter, for different seasons, you're supposed to do different things and eat different vegetables, right? So I shared that's also good for your health. So one of my posts, there are people asking Americans. So I shared a post about the vegetable basket project in China, right? And how that's able to help all the Chinese people able to eat fresh vegetables at a very cheap price. So I saw some Chinese people ask American people that, oh, do you guys eat different vegetables according in different seasons? And people told me that American people replied in the post that, well, actually, you guys don't. So I'm gonna just ask that in the live streaming as well, like for my friends from foreign countries. In your countries, like in different seasons, do you eat different vegetables? Like for example, in your grocery, you're able to buy different vegetables, or like no, you just basically eat the same vegetables throughout the different seasons. Can you guys let me know? So if you can buy different vegetables in different seasons and you also have this eating habits of eating different vegetables for different seasons, type 1. And if no, type 2. Okay, type 1, if you actually can buy different types of vegetables, the seasoning the seasons, the vegetable of the seasons, and seasonal vegetables and eat seasonal vegetables, type 1. If you don't, type 2. Yeah. Type 1, if you eat seasonal vegetables. Type 2, if you don't eat seasonal vegetables, you just basically eat vegetables throughout the years. Yeah. So it is time to eat ice cream. Miracle, you're so funny. Okay, I'm glad there are people typing one. I'm glad there are people typing one. Okay, so according to Chinese theory, in the Dominican Republic, you eat vegetables and fruits that are in the season. Okay, great. Yeah, so I'm glad to see there are still many people who would eat seasonal vegetables because that is so important. Because in every season, when some vegetables are grown and this are harvested in this season, it basically means there are nutrients inside the vegetables that is good for you during this period of time. For example, like during all the seasons, you could definitely feel the energy is very different, right? For example, for the summertime, when the sun comes out, you sweat a lot. It's a time to detox, right? Your body, right? Because you have lots of the tox coming out through the sweat because of the sun, because of hot weather, you sweat a lot. That's detox, right? For usually that's why like the the vegetables in summertime are always very good at detoxing. So usually when you study the vegetables for the summertime, they have lots of the vegetable all have this the detox feature in it. If you study it from a nutrition perspective, right? And for the winter time, it's the time when there's not a lot of sunshine, when the time you have to keep yourself warm, right? Keep yourself warm, reserve energies so that you could, you know, go through the entire winter, right? So the vegetables for the winter time then becomes very different. All the vegetables are basically very good of helping you to preserve energy, right? So yeah, and sometimes fruits are mainly juicy because you're running out of sweat. So the juicy fruits are supposed to provide you lots of the, to keep your body hydrated, provide lots of water to your body, right? So this all makes sense, right, my friend? So that is why like it's so important to eat seasonal fruits and seasonal vegetables because seasonal things are good for your health and good for your body, right? So these are all the good things that we need to do in order to live a longer life, my friend. Yeah. How do you think so? How do you think it? Do you agree with me, my friend? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with all the theory I just shared today? Yeah. Do you agree with all the theory I just shared today, my friend? Yeah. Huh? And makes so much sense, right, my friend? Yeah. We eat gummy bears over here. Eat less gummy bear, my friend. Don't eat gummy bears, Hedja. That is not good. Lots of sugars. And look at the thing that is used to make gummy bears, even though it's very chewy, but gummy bears is not good for the health. Yeah. Eat vegetables, eat fruits, right? Replace fruits, replace gummy bear with fruits, right? Fruits are also sweet, right? But also like don't eat too many fruits because too many fruits you're taking too many sugars. That is also not good for the body. It's always about the balance, eating the right amount of vegetables, the right amount of fruit. So I have an aunt, okay, a sister of my mom, younger sister of my mom. There was a period of time when she's around 40s, she got so fascinated with drinking carrot juice because she read some article about like how good the carrot juice is, and she ate a lot of carrots and drank a lot of carrot juice, like literally drank carrot juice every day. And from one day on, her whole face looks so orange and even like so yellow orange, the kind of yellow orange. And her hands turn orange as well. And up till now, it's like so many years later, right? She's now like 50, right? Well, she did that in her 30s, I think. It's like 20 years ago, I think. Definitely 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago, even 20, 30 years ago, she did that up to today. Her hand is still orange. Like her hand turned orange, her face turned orange, like she's like so orange. And then she realized, oh my god, it's all because she ate too many carrots. Okay. So eating good vegetables is good. We all know like carrots are good for our body, right? Because it has lots of vitamin B, right? However, by eating too many of anything, it's just not good for your body. So it all comes back to the Chinese wisdom, which is what? What's the Chinese wisdom, my friend? I have repeatedly saying it for those of you who have been in live. 好了，老师来考作业了哈。I'm gonna check your homework. Like what comes to the Chinese wisdom? What's the Chinese wisdom, my guys, my friends? Like what's the Chinese wisdom about it? Exactly, Howard. Big kudo to you. It's about balance. It's about balance, right? It's about the balance. Never eating too much of anything, never eat too less of anything. It's all about the balance, live in balance, right? It's a Chinese wisdom, right? If you break the balance, for example, like my aunt 30 years ago, he ate too many carrots. Up to now, it's even though like it's already 20, 30 years past, like her hand still looks orange because she broke balance and that's the penalty, okay? So it's always about the balance, my friends. So that is why you guys come to this live stream. You need to follow me, and we need to reach a new balance of more followers. Okay, my friend. Yeah, follow me, help me to reach a new balance of new followers. And when there are new followers, I am motivated to do more interesting live streaming and also post more interesting contents. And you guys get more entertained, you guys learn a lot more, and that comes to a balance, right, my friend? So that's why for those of you who are in here, you need to follow me, okay? Yeah. So it's over 9:30. That's pretty much for today. Okay. So we're actually gonna continue with it, right? How to live longer because there are so many more we can discuss about it. Like we just discussed about like the psychology, right? And we just started about eating, right? There are so many other things we can share about around how to eat in order to live longer, okay? So how to eat in order to live longer, and we can then later come on to the topic about like what to do to live longer, right? What kind of the Chinese wisdom kind of like pressure points and also pai ba xu, those Chinese way of keeping your body healthy, share that. So we're gonna continue it tomorrow, okay, guys? Yeah. Follow me, please, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Okay, my friend. Thank you so much for coming to the live streaming today. Yeah. Okay, one day share China wall history. Yeah, sure, sure, sure. We'll do W. Okay, just follow me and stay tuned. Once we finish this topic, we can come to that topic. Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for coming here. So what time you usually on? Usually on from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. China time every day. OK，早上7点半到9点半然后主播哪里人？上海人哈，我是上海人，from Shanghai，100% Chinese。OK，上海人呀，中国人。OK，好，so I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. China time, okay? So for people from other countries, you guys have to transfer that to your own local time. Yeah. So I will do live every day from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. China time. So for those of you who haven't followed me, don't forget to follow me. Okay. Follow me, please. Okay. If you are new in here, just so you know, I usually have a very interesting contents in my live stream. So that is why you need to follow me. Okay. So follow me for my friends. Oh my God, there's still so many people online, making me feel so reluctant to drop the line and leave. Somehow I need to also keep my balance. Okay, the balance of having this amount of time doing live streaming and the balance of spending that amount of time doing the rest of other stuff. Yeah. So follow me, please, my friend. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Okay. Weekend too. Yes, I do it on weekend as well. Like every day. Okay. Every single day, 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. China time. It's only when I was sick, for example, for the past week, I was sick. So I was not able to do it every day, or because I was on business trip, or for other reasons, I was not able to do that. Then I would not do it. Otherwise, like I would always do my live stream, always live streaming from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. every day. Okay. It would be great if you guys can follow me, and also for friends on Rednote, join my group. Okay. You guys could also propose what are the topics you would like to discuss in the chat group so that we will never run out of topics. Okay, my friend. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining my live. I really, really need to leave. Okay. And thank you. Bye bye, my friend. 流量券就是他给你发的嘛，然后没有地方收的，他就自动给到你。点就是说要不要用流量券，就选择自动投流，就它就会自动给我用。但是我现在看数据好像它实际上是官方在给我。开始吧，啊，都齐了。那个我先很快过一下哈，我昨天的话不是写那个脚本，因为我感觉上周那种非常快速出的节目，特别的理想，说也不差，但是就没有出现像上上周的那种爆发。昨天我稍微花了一些心思，今天上午会花点时间把录掉，今天下午的话，我就会开始去就是 Iris 那一边。